It's Joel.
The podcast.
Bzz. Hello, everybody. I'm Alex,
And I'm Alex.
and this is our podcast.
Joel.
Welcome to episode 137 of Joel the Podcast. You look how slowly I said that while I opened up the actual tab that told me what episode number it was.
I
Very
thought you were
smooth
just.
and natural.
I thought it was just for dramatic effect.
Yeah. 130. I mean, everyone who's listening knows what it is because, literally just clicked on a video that said episode 137.
Here's a fun fact.
Suspense.
Here's a fun fact about 137 that may or may not still be true. There was a lock on the cash drawer in the lounge in the physics building.
Uh-huh.
The combination of that lock was 137 because that's the inverse of the fine structure constant, if I'm remembering that right. So,
What do you mean by inverse?
like 1 over the fine
1
structure
over,
constant is 137 or something like that. So if that's still true and you want to steal a bunch of money from SPS,
That'd be really funny if it was still true. I mean, actually not that funny because no one listens to this podcast, but still, it'd be
no,
kind
but
of funny.
like one of the few people that does listen could potentially go and
Well, he probably already knew the password, right?
he would already have known this. So, yeah.
Yeah.
It's not news to him, but you could check. I mean, if that's still the case, they better watch out because next time I come to West Lafayette, I'm helping myself to.
And you're gonna pick the lock to open the lounge door, right?
I suppose I am using our lock
Like we
picking
intended to
set,
do
like
that
we
one
intended
time.
to do
Yes.
that one time.
And there was a janitor there, and we were like,
Let's go
maybe
pick
not.
locks in the commons.
All right.
Wow. We were just talking about the stories from college, and I'm glad that one in particular was immortalized in the podcast because I do remember it quite well.
That was one of the things that I was going to mention. I was like, well, there's actually no point in talking about it in the podcast. We literally did it on a podcast.
Throwback to like 120 episodes ago, probably. No,
Wow.
130 episodes ago, I bet.
130 episodes ago, and get this, 7 years ago.
That's not right, is it?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, our first ever episode was over 7 years ago now, but it wasn't posted until more recently.
You saying
so.
that made me realize that we had plans to do something about our 7-year anniversary that we did not do, so that's pretty embarrassing.
I think we were going to do another clip show, right? Because there's been
We were
about
going to, and then
40 episodes since the last one.
yeah, but then we never finished re-listening to all the old episodes
No. Where do we
and
need
forgot
to...
about it.
Yeah, where do we need to start from if we were going to do that? Top 10? So 79 onwards? Whoa, that's like 50 episodes.
Yes.
I don't know. That sounds kind of hard. Email us if you want to hear this, but...
No, don't say that. They're definitely gonna email. It's no effort for them, and they're honestly, yeah, we're not getting many emails, so maybe this will be motivation for you to email us.
Yeah.
Okay. Welcome to episode 137 of Joel the Podcast. I wanted to start the episode off. Do you owe me $1? Did you ever pay me $1? I feel like you definitely did owe me $1.
I owed you
Let me look at my
$1 as of
Venmo.
the beginning of the last episode, and now I have to check Venmo.
Yeah, I don't think
I
you paid me.
$1,
So
but
Nathan owes me $1.
That's tragic.
Now let's get into our sports minutes.
Ooh, I'm gonna commandeer the beginning of the sports minute
Please
here
do.
because I need to congratulate the 2026 men's basketball conference tournament champion of the Southland Conference, McNeese State University. And I'm gonna name for you now the other 11 teams in the Southland Conference from memory. I don't
Let's
remember
hear
if
it.
this was part of the podcast, so this bit might not make any sense.
It was part of the podcast.
All right.
I think. So if not, or if you haven't listened to that episode recently, we talked about we did talk about this on the podcast. Just
It must
go
have
ahead
been,
and
right? All right.
Yeah, go ahead
So
and name them.
you got the list. Do you want to check me, or do you trust my?
No, I am pulling up the list as we speak.
All right. Let me know when.
I'm on the Wikipedia page now. Okay, here. Go ahead.
All right, so obviously we got McNeese, the tournament
Obviously.
champions. You've also got Nichols State, Northwestern State, real classic
course.
teams there. There's Lamar University. Sounds like a person, is actually a university. Speaking of sounds like a person, you got Stephen F. Austin State
Mm.
University. There's what else we got? We got East Texas A&M University, along with Texas A&M Corpus Christi.
Yep.
There is Houston Christian University,
Of course.
University of the Incarnate Word,
As one
University
does.
of New Orleans,
Mm-hmm.
Southeastern Louisiana University. We've got University of Texas Rio Grande Valley. That's 10, so I'm missing 2. Who haven't I said yet? This is the problem with from memory. Let's see. McNeese, Nichols, Northwestern State, Lamar.
I feel like you actually said all these.
No, that can't be true. I only said 10. There's a dozen. I said New
Okay.
Orleans, right?
Yeah.
Oh, who do we have left? Who's left?
I think you really said all of these. Okay, let's go through them, and you tell me if you. I'm pretty sure you said them. East Texas A&M. You
Yeah,
said
I said
that.
East Texas A&M.
Houston Christian. You
Houston
said
Christian,
that.
yeah.
Incarnate Word. You said
Incarnate
that.
Word, I did.
Lamar. You said.
Lamar.
McNeese. You said.
Yes.
New Orleans. You said. Nichols.
Yes.
You said.
Yes.
Northwestern State. You
Yes.
said. Southeastern Louisiana. You
Yes.
said, right?
Yes.
Stephen F. Austin.
Yes.
Texas A&M Corpus Christi and
Yes.
Rio Grande. You said all of
Yes.
those. That's it.
Oh, so I just can't count.
Correct.
Cool. There you go.
Well done. I am really impressed about that.
Yeah, can I show you what
Now-
Can I show you what I've been doing?
Yeah,
Ever
please
since
do.
you texted me the list, I've just been every day or two I just write all of them over and over. That's my strategy
here's
for
your-
memorization.
Here's your added challenge if you want another one, which I'm sure you don't.
Sure.
Remember all of the mascots or nicknames. Like
Ooh.
the East Texas A&M Lions.
Ooh, that is a good one. Yeah, I have no idea what any of those are.
Because I'm just looking at the Wikipedia page and that's on the list, which is interesting. The Northwestern State University are the Demons and Lady Demons. So, and Stephen F. Austin is the Lumberjacks and Lady Jacks.
Lady Jacks. That's awful.
So that might be a fun challenge.
Okay.
But I'll be honest, I'm very impressed. I 100% forgot about that we talked about that. So well done.
Yes, thank you.
Um,
I've been waiting for a long time.
And
It's been a little
congratulations, as you said, congratulations to McNeese. I haven't picked their game in my bracket yet, but in my gut bracket, I picked them because I
Yeah.
heard somebody say that Vanderbilt was a fraud. There's no analytics behind it. I just heard somebody say it, so
Yeah, it must be
take
true.
that to the bank.
They did beat Clemson last year as a 12 seed.
that's
so
exciting. I mean, that counts.
They've got it
so.
in them.
Yeah, so in case you couldn't tell, the March Madness bracket was released yesterday. That's the big sports news. Purdue is a 2 seed in the West region. So maybe let's bet $1. What is the furthest round you think Purdue will make it to?
Yeah.
And we'll say just whoever's the closest wins, or it could be a tie based on our guesses.
Right.
Um,
I'm gonna decide in my head here real quick.
Right, and then
That
I'll say
way,
mine
yeah.
out loud. Yeah. Sorry, tell me when you're ready.
Yeah, I think I'm feeling good about this answer.
It's probably gonna be the same answer, honestly. I think they're gonna lose in the Sweet 16.
Ooh, interesting. I have them in the Elite Eight.
Okay.
So that makes for a good bet.
Yep.
I'm feeling pretty good about their chances. I like the teams they've been matched up against
Mhm.
in the Sweet 16. So that would be probably Gonzaga. You think will beat them?
Yes.
Okay. I
So
could
yeah.
see it, but I'm
Now I
feeling
will
confident.
say, regardless of the outcome of this bet, you still have to give me the dollar. So even if you win, you have to give me the dollar, and then I have to give you the dollar. Like there still has to be the
Sure,
transactions.
of
It does not
course.
cancel out.
I mean,
Yeah.
when we finish this episode, if I remember, I'm gonna Venmo you $1 just to avoid the
Okay.
shame of a
Okay.
third straight
That would be
call out.
embarrassing.
Yeah,
So yeah, email us. Let us know how dumb we were when Purdue gets bounced by Queens in the first round.
please no.
Um, That'll be a very Purdue thing to have happen. I have no
Yeah.
idea what to think about Purdue because like they stunk to end the regular season and then somehow won the Big Ten tournament. So I'm like,
Yeah, and it wasn't even like they got lucky. They beat Michigan, which is the thing that I didn't think they would
they
do.
crushed Northwestern. They solidly beat like Nebraska, and then
Yeah.
they like pretty solidly beat Michigan too. So like it was
Yeah.
pretty impressive performance. So
Really, yeah, really
really,
good games. If they keep up that energy, which is kind of what I'm hoping for, I could see them making it to the Elite Eight. Honestly, I think if they get there and Arizona is the team they face, they probably don't have a great chance. But I would have said that against Michigan too. So anything can
there you
happen.
go. All right, let's move out of our sports minutes and move on to our email segment. Did we receive any emails this week?
Yeah, in fact, we did. Let me open up the traditional whatever random email it takes me to when I type in mail. Um, so this one comes to us. There's actually a couple in here. Oh, I didn't realize this. There are 3 emails in this chain actually sent within 6 minutes of each other. Um, they all come to us from Cephalopod Master. The subject line of each is "I am a dumbass." So starting at the top here. Hello, Alex and Alex at Joel the Podcast. After listening to the most recent episode, which I believe at the point of this email would have been 135,
Okay.
I realized I have 2 emails in my draft folder because I wrote an email and for some reason just never hit send. And then in the following week, I made that exact mistake again. So I'm sending both of them now. Subject line was accurate. Also, I believe one of you lost a bet on the sports thing because the game you were talking about happened, but I don't actually know what happened. I think he's talking about the Super Bowl, which we have in the
Right,
past
which is
couple
why
episodes
you owe me $1.
clarified. Yes. So thanks for the clarification there. We have also clarified that. But yeah, let's get into these next 2, which were, I say sent 6 minutes apart, but actually must have been written in the preceding weeks. So here we go. He says, "Hello, Alex and Alex at Joel the Podcast. I watched the Kids Bop Quiz episode 2 weeks ago. Sorry, I watched the Kids Bop Quiz episode 2 weeks ago, and now I am struggling to remember anything from the episode. This must be how you feel when you normally read my emails."
Yes, it is exactly right. That's so funny. Yep, 100%.
One thing I do remember is the discussion of sleeping bag-based sporting activities in Shelby's and Alex's childrenhood. Note, I see now that this is why I forgot to send the email. I went down a rabbit hole of when referring to the childhood but for multiple people, why is the correct plural childhoods and not childrenhood? And I was so disappointed that I forgot why I was searching in the first place.
Sorry, can we pause? So, first of all, obviously that's hilarious.
Yes.
But what I want to know is why you were disappointed. Like, why did it upset you that the plural was childhoods and not childrenhood? Like,
I think childrenhood is just the more fun plural because the classic is just like stick an S on it, right? But childrenhood has the like obvious plural children, but still the same word structure. So it's
well,
more,
it's really,
to me, it's more interesting.
it's really interesting because it reminds me of words like, the only one I can think of right now is attorney general.
Yes.
But there's other ones like it where the plural is attorneys general.
Right.
So that would be like the kind of similar parallel structure where instead of childhood it'd be childrenhood.
Yeah.
But I guess, yeah. Anyway,
I don't. It's
I kind of get why you would want it to be childrenhood, but then being so upset when you found out that it was childhoods that you like forgot what you were doing. Like that seems a little excessive to me.
That's probably fair, but I can, now that I have heard childrenhood, I do really like it. I think it's one of those things where like English already has those weird, just like not at all pattern words. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a terrible phrase. Um, but just
Sounds
that
pretty
to me
English to
has
me.
the that to me has that kind of like intrigue to it, right? Like you have to be kind of like in the know to be able to say childrenhood. In
I
the same
also
way
interesting.
that you could laugh at someone who said attorney generals because they're a fool. Someone who
Right.
just said like, "Oh, they're childhoods." You'd be like, "You mean childrenhood? You incompetent speaker?"
I also, it's interesting now that we're talking about this. I don't think ever in my entire life have I ever had the occasion to refer to multiple people's childhood and like
Yeah.
determine what this plural would be. So that's kind of interesting.
It's also interesting to me that just now you said multiple people's childhood, whereas I would have said childhoods with this
No, you're
discussion,
right.
right?
That no, you're 100% right. It should be
So I don't.
multiple people's
It,
childhoods.
is that? But is that some kind of like intuition that childhood is itself like
No,
quantityless?
well, what's interesting is like the grammatically speaking, what determines whether you say multiple people's childhood or multiple people's childhoods is if there's one childhood possessed by multiple people, then you say multiple people's childhood. But if
Yes.
there's multiple childhoods, each individually possessed by a different person, you say multiple people's childhoods.
Yeah.
So like, you could say like, oh, two siblings, their shared childhood growing up, I guess,
Interesting. Yeah.
or something. Although the word childhood just refers to the state of being a child, so I guess that would never be shared by two people. Because everyone has their own state of being a child or not. I don't know.
But like we're roughly the same age. If I were to say like, back in our childhood, that feels fine to me, because that's talking
Well,
about
because
like a period of time that we would both understand, not necessarily like my experience of being a child and your experience of being a child,
well,
which were separate.
I actually feel like the word childhood, like, even though just a second ago I said on its face it kind of means the state of being a child.
Yeah.
We usually use it to mean the experience of being a child.
Yes.
That's why, like, you could say our childhood because we had a shared experience of being a child.
Yeah.
But you would only say that if what you were talking about was a shared experience. Like, oh, do you remember watching SpongeBob back in our childhood? Like, because we both watched SpongeBob. Whereas I couldn't say, remember back in our childhood when we went to, like, the Pinewood Derby with my dad? And you'd be like, no, I didn't.
No, we went
I
to the
wasn't
Pinewood
there.
Derby with my dad.
Um,
Yeah,
So-
that's an interesting. I'm sure David's very glad that he got this childhood
Yeah.
discussion. Hopefully that makes up for the disappointment.
Is there
of it
anything
not
else
being
in the email?
childrenhood. There is, and then there's another
Okay,
email after
yeah.
that. So,
okay, we really should. We don't want to have another all email episode.
especially with only 3 of them, that would be off the rails. All right, this one finishes up. Like Nathan, I have had no sleeping bag based game, and I think they should be celebrated and discussed more so that fewer children will experience the unfortunate fate of not playing these games. I think that's a good.
Yeah.
I think it's a good point. I've heard now multiple times over the past several years between Shelby and her brothers telling the Kachunga alligator wrestling stories, which is what the sleeping bag game was.
Uh-huh.
And I feel like I've vicariously lived that. Maybe we'll do it someday. I don't know.
Maybe. I think as a podcast, from this email, we can take 2 things. One, we should really popularize sleeping bag based fighting games.
Yes.
And 2, we should really popularize the use of the word childrenhood. I think those 2 things are going to be movements started by our podcast.
Yeah, full agree. Let's I don't know whatever, sway we have in the zeitgeist, but let's put it to full effect. Childrenhooding some sleeping bag games.
Indeed.
All right, final email here from Cephalopod. Hello, Alex and Alex at Joel the Podcast. Good episode with another Would You Rathers. It's always a fun one to listen to. As a reminder, your last question was, would you rather have a theme song that plays whenever you enter a room and you can't choose the song, or have a spotlight that only illuminates you even in broad daylight? And Alex pointed out that one of the problems of this is that it's really difficult to see outside the light when you're in a spotlight. An obvious problem with this is that it makes driving basically impossible, possibly even getting a ride very difficult, because presumably the spotlight is broad enough that even if you're in the passenger seat, it would interfere with the driver's sight. I think this is a good point.
Feel like, well, okay, it is a good point in general. I feel like that last part is not right, though, because the whole point of the spotlight is that's only on you.
Yeah.
So it can't be also on the driver. Like, that kind of defeats the point of the question, in my opinion.
I haven't been in many spotlights. I don't know if your experience is different, but is it so focused that a person basically sitting right next to you would not share some of the glare?
Obviously, it depends upon how close they are to you. And spotlights can be made of different sizes. Like, I would say that a typical spotlight used in a, high school theater, which is my experience of spotlights, probably could be focused enough that it wouldn't, at the very least, wouldn't be in the eyes of a person sitting the distance away from you that somebody sits when they're in a car. Because that is not just like right next to you. There is some distance between you there. It may be like in that situation, some would be like on their leg or arm or whatever, but I don't think it would be in their eyes. That's my opinion.
I mean, surely we can just say then that, like, by definition, it would be a spotlight as focused on you as possible so as not to interfere with others.
Well, it's not so as not to interfere with others, just kind of the point of the Would You Rather is the spotlight is only focused on you. Like, that's kind of the whole point. Yeah. Now, I also will say, I don't know this for sure. My instinct is that effect would kind of be mitigated during the day. Like, during the day, the spotlight would not be as, like, the spotlight is not as bright as the sun, presumably. So, like, it might be easy. You might still be able to see in like broad daylight, essentially, is what I'm saying, and well enough to drive. Obviously, at night, that's when the problems, or low light, like rain or something like that, maybe. I don't know.
Right.
But that's kind of my instinct on that as well. But it is a good point.
Yeah. Yeah, good engagement. It was nice to have the prompt again also, especially after the previous email.
He sent enough emails where we just read it and we're like, we've no idea what this is talking about, that he's like learned, like he's got to give us some.
Yeah, we've, with our incompetence, taught him to structure the email properly for us. So great job to everyone. And I'm seeing at the top, actually, before we move on from the email, that was the end, but as I've scrolled back up to the top of Gmail, it looks like there's a Gemini feature to summarize the email. So I do want to briefly try that, just to see what happens.
Yeah, let's see.
All right. The AI overview. This is 2 bullet points. The first one is, David sent 2 emails about recent podcast episodes after forgetting to send them. And the second point is, David discussed sleeping bag games and potential problems with the Spotlight Would You Rather question. And I think that AI cannot replace our listeners. I don't think we would have gotten much interesting conversation out of those points.
Yeah, no, that's just a summary, though, so it kind of makes sense. I think it was an accurate summary.
Yeah. AI really doesn't have a place in podcast content. So what are we doing today?
Good point. Yeah, so today what we're going to do is something new. We haven't done this before. We're going to use an AI tool that we found online to do a choose your own adventure live on the podcast.
What a brilliant idea.
I can't believe how useful AI is. Like everyone else in the world, we are embracing AI in the use of our podcast. And if you're let us know what your thoughts on this are, because this could be really funny or it could be quite horrible.
Yeah.
So let's find out. This is, to give credit, this is from perchance.org/AI text, AI-text-adventure. I'll share my screen with you, Nathan, so that you can at least see what's going on, even if the listeners won't be able to. So to begin here, we have a box that says optional, a short description of the type of text adventure you want to play. For example, I am a skilled assassin in the city called Ankh-Morpork.
Okay.
You can add more detail if you want. For example, world lore, characters, rules, etc. Just try to keep it under 500 words. So this is optional, so we could just start the adventure as is. Would you like to, do you think that we should seed it with any, like, basic information?
All right. Is this a funny idea or a dumb idea? I think we should seed it with, we are two podcasters doing an episode about an AI text adventure, and, or probably shouldn't get that meta. Maybe just we are two podcasters and we have an unexpected adventure in, our episode or something like that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. The story is about two podcasters. I'm guessing the tool is set up to be in first person, so like to say we wouldn't make a lot of sense, even though obviously.
Sure.
Story's about two podcasters who have something. How about just something unexpected happen in one of their episodes?
Sure. You should add that their podcast is very popular and they get lots of emails from their listeners.
Right, okay, so the podcasters' names are both Alex, and their podcast is called Joel the Podcast, and it's very popular.
Yes.
Okay, anything else?
No, I think that's all good and accurate. So.
All right, start adventure. Loading. You, the player, are mid-sentence. Something about cryptid sightings in the Appalachian woods. When Alex, the other Alex, the one with the raspier voice. Which one do you think of us as the one with the raspier voice?
I was just about to interrupt you to ask the same question. I have no idea. Listeners
You have
will
to choose
weigh in
me or
on
you.
that.
Who has a raspier voice?
All right, it's me.
I think it's me. All right. Abruptly cuts you off with a sharp inhale. What's a sharp inhale?
Had
The
to make it a
studio
little
lights.
raspy.
The studio lights flicker once, twice. Your headphones transmit an audio anomaly you can't explain. A whisper-thin voice layered beneath your co-host's breathing, repeating. What's it repeating? Can you read it for us in a
Whisper-thin voice?
Whisper-thin voice.
Joel isn't just the name.
In a cadence that matches the podcast's jingle exactly. Neither of you recorded that. The silence that follows is thick enough to taste, broken only by the faintest hum of equipment that shouldn't be powered on, because you both distinctly remember unplugging everything before hitting record.
What?
Now, here are the options. You can choose to ignore the anomaly completely, forcing a laugh and continuing the episode as if nothing happened, while subtly sliding your phone toward Alex with a note. Check the raw audio files now! Option B. You lean into the moment, whispering directly into your mic. Can you whisper it for us?
Joel, if that's you, tell us where we left the spare studio key last month.
You never lost a key. This is a test. And the third option is you abruptly stand up and start unplugging every piece of equipment again, methodically this time, while muttering, nope, absolutely... Sorry, can you mutter it for us?
Nope, absolutely not.
Under your breath, but pause when you notice the unplugged power strip is somehow still glowing. Or we can type our own action. What do you think we should do?
All right, I'm really liking the second option where we whisper Joel, if that's you, tell us where we left the spare studio key. Because I really hope that turns into, like, Joel the podcast becomes a character in this story. You know what I mean?
Well, I think the implication is that there's a ghost or something named Joel. It's not like the podcast embodied. It's like just a ghost named Joel. That's why it says Joel isn't just the name. Like there's a
Joel isn't just the name. Oh,
it's also also like a ghost.
Okay,
that's kind of what I think that one goes.
All right.
Well,
okay. I'm maybe a little on the fence about that then.
I mean, so my opinion is that is like the goofiest answer of the predetermined answers.
Right.
Because that's us being like, oh, here's this supernatural thing happening. Sure. Hey, ghosts, whatever. Like, I don't... The other two are more like us being, nervous or scared about this anomaly.
Sure.
So, okay, now say your other thoughts now that you understand this a little more.
Yeah, I think the top answer is kind of like the normal answer, like
right.
what I feel like would actually happen in a scenario like this. And I think the bottom answer, and I just think it's so funny that for whatever reason it's saying that before we started recording the podcast we unplugged all our equipment. So
yeah, that is funny.
Going through and unplugging all our equipment again, and then there's some kind of like supernatural power strip. That's pretty intriguing.
Just to give this AI tool like an inch of like grace, I guess. It means that there's some equipment that is humming that we unplugged. Like we didn't unplug all equipment before recording.
Yeah. Fair enough. All right. I think if I had to just make a gut call, it would be number 3. What do you think?
I'm leaning kind of 2.
I'm on board with 2 also, to be fair.
All right, let's do 2.
All right. Joel, if that's you, where did we hide the studio key or whatever?
The air conditioning unit rattles to life with a metallic groan, though its display remains dark. And before either of you can react, the studio door slams shut with a force that shakes the soundproofing foam, followed by 3 deliberate knocks from inside the supply closet, where a single warped voice croaks,
"Behind the fire extinguisher." Wrapped in... I didn't realize that was continuing the line. "Wrapped in your old Mothman live show t-shirt."
Before dissolving into static, just as the scent of burnt copper floods your nostrils, and the emergency exit sign flickers to spell out Joel in jagged red strokes. Here are the 3 options. You choose to lean closer to the mic and whisper,
"Joel, what happened to the lost episode from season 2?
The one that allegedly corrupted mid-upload and vanished from your drives. You grab the fire extinguisher from the wall and spray it directly at the supply closet door, shouting,
"Show yourself, or get the fuck out of our studio."
You start playing the podcast jingle backwards on your phone while slowly backing towards the emergency exit, watching for the Joel sign to change again. Once again, I'm kind of leaning toward option B. I think it's hilarious.
Yeah, that's good. I'm on board.
Just absolutely unloading the fire extinguisher at the supply closet, the closed supply closet door. Like that's supposed to do anything. That's what we're gonna choose.
Yep.
The extinguisher's foam hits the closet door with a wet slap, then keeps going the entire canister, emptying in 3 seconds flat as the nozzle bends backwards like cheap tin, spraying white mist in a grotesque arc that coats the ceiling tiles in dripping clumps, while the voice inside the closet laughs. A wet, gurgling... Excellent. A wet, gurgling sound that rises in pitch until it mirrors your co-host's voice exactly, right down to the nervous hitch he gets when lying, as it wheezes,
"You always were shit at aiming, Alex."
just before the fire alarm triggers. What? With a deafening wail, and every light in the studio explodes in a shower of sparks, plunging you into darkness thick enough to feel the static prickle against your skin. Here are the options. You choose to laugh back, matching the entity's tone perfectly. Then, and what does that sound like again? And then demand it explain why it's using Joel's name, since you invented that jingle last summer, and there's no way it could know the tune unless it's been listening longer than it should have been. Okay. Which, how long should it have been listening?
I mean, wouldn't we have just put the jingle in every... I mean, we do put our theme song in every episode, so...
Well, not anymore.
We have an
Now we
intro.
just do the-
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, option B is you grab your co-host's wrist and bolt for the emergency exit, but deliberately swerve at the last second, slamming your shoulder into the flickering Joel sign to rip it from the wall like a makeshift weapon, shouting,
You want branding? Here's your goddamn logo. What?
Option C is you drop to your knees and start recording the chaos on your phone. Because, fuck it, if this is real, the Patreon bump will be legendary. Then hurl the device into the closet while hissing,
Give us a 5-star review or GTFO.
Alright, so before we choose an option,
Yeah.
I feel like none of the options we've chosen have kind of moved the story forward much.
Right.
Like, just kind of like the same things have been happening over and over again.
Right.
Which is kind of what I feel like B is here, the second option to like rip the sign off the wall. Like that's just gonna result in more of the same stuff, I feel like.
Sure.
I don't know. Yeah. Maybe this is another one we're gonna write. What's your thought on these options? I'm not really sure. None of them are sticking out to me.
No, I kind of agree with you, and I wonder if this is time for us to try and come up with a prompt to try and push the story in a particular direction. Which would, I don't know what that would be, for the record, but...
Okay, so then let's just generally discuss how do we want to be reacting now? Like, do we want to be scared? Do we want to be like, we think this is a prank? Like, what's our attitude right now?
I am inclined to say, what if we, having just emptied the fire extinguisher at the supply closet door and apparently the ceiling, let's try now to grab...
Oh, go ahead.
We grab some kind of, like, mic stand or something and then kick open the supply closet door to confront, whoever's in there.
And is it because we think it's, like, not real, like we think it's a hoax, or we're just, like, brave and we're like, we're gonna face down whatever this thing is?
No, it probably feels like this is a hoax, right? Like...
Alright, so let's say, knowing this must be some kind of hoax, I grab a makeshift weapon from nearby and open the closet door. Do this.
Yes.
We baffled it. It's still thinking.
I guess fair enough. We threw it a complete curveball. It had a plot all lined up for us.
The closet door swings open with a creak that shouldn't exist. Give us the creak. You'd oiled the hinges last week.
Of course.
Revealing not shelves of tangled cables, but a yawning void where the black wall should be. the darkness pulsing like a throat as
Ew.
the stench of ozone and rotting meat rolls out in waves. Your makeshift weapon, a broken mic stand, now slick with something warm and sticky, trembles in your grip as the laughter shifts direction, now emanating from behind you, where Alex was
Oh
standing.
no!
Except when you whirl around, his chair spins empty, the headphones still swaying, and a voice from the closet purrs,
Told you Joel wasn't just the name.
right before something with too many joints slithers out of the darkness and wraps cold, skeletal fingers around your wrist. Their grip exactly the size of Alex's hands when he'd drunkenly compared them to yours last Halloween.
Oh wow! I can't believe
This
it got
is-
the details of our drunk Halloween party last year.
Yeah. This is definitely getting creepier as we go.
Oh man!
Here's the options. You choose to stop resisting and let the skeletal hand pull you into the void while whispering,
Fine, Joel. Show me what you really are.
second option, you smash the mic stand into the studio control board, triggering a feedback loop loud enough to drown out the voice while screaming,
Alex, if you're still here, play the fucking intro jingle.
Option number 3, you grab the swaying headphones and jam them onto your ears, cranking the volume to max to hear whatever hidden audio might be lurking in the white noise. Now, in addition to these options, we can obviously type a custom action, or if we're feeling like the direction is too creepy, we can write instructions and regenerate based on the last prompt.
Okay.
That's also an option here. So
I see.
what are you thinking?
It's interesting that it's chosen to make, maybe this is just kind of how it always is, but it's chosen to make the story from the perspective of one Alex. Which, fair enough, that there's maybe more intrigue in having things happen to other Alex. But that may be feedback for it. Include both Alexes.
So you think we should regenerate?
I wouldn't mind regenerating.
Okay.
I wouldn't mind keeping it, but we
Yeah,
have
that's fine. So
disappeared in Alex.
make sure to include the other Alex as part of the story. Regenerate.
Yes.
Okay, so none of that happened.
We felt
Instead,
left out.
here's what happened. Your hand closes around the rusted metal handle of a studio monitor stand, your makeshift weapon, as you wrench the closet door open, half expecting to find nothing but dust and tangled cables. But instead, you're met with a wall of static-filled darkness that smells like ozone and wet earth. And Alex, your Alex, the real one, grabs your elbow with a grip tight enough to bruise as his flashlight beam cuts through the blackness to reveal the supply closet's back wall isn't there anymore.
Whoa.
Replaced by a tunnel of gnarled tree roots dripping with something that glistens black in the light, while the voice, now unmistakably Joel's, but warped like a tape left in the sun, echoes from somewhere deep within, whispering,
You asked for proof. Come and see.
So now our options are, you choose to step into the tunnel of gnarled roots, dragging Alex with you, and shout,
Fine, Joel, but you're carrying the fucking equipment.
while shoving a portable recorder into the darkness.
He just toss a recorder in and he's like, all right, disembodied voice, you gotta take our stuff.
Option 2, you grab Alex's flashlight and shine it directly into the tunnel while playing the podcast jingle from your phone, just to see if whatever's down there sings along.
Whoa.
And option number 3, you slam the closet door shut, wedge the monitor stand under the handle, and whisper to Alex,
New plan. We monetize this haunt and sell Joel's mystery boxes to our Patreon subscribers.
okay, I feel like we definitely have to do that one, right?
Yeah, for sure. Maybe I wonder if we'll bring it back from like a haunted, like a horror story vibe.
Uh-huh. Here we go. Alex's flashlight trembles in his grip as he exhales a shaky laugh, the beam catching the sweat on his forehead. But before he can retort, the closet door groans against the monitor stand, not from pushing, but from inside the walls themselves. Guess not. Warping inward like rotting wood, the roots beyond now visibly pulsing as Joel's voice splits into a chorus of overlapping whispers, each layer repeating,
40% to the first 10 buyers.
in perfect unison with your last Patreon pitch, while the studio's defunct soundboard lights up behind you, its sliders moving on their own to loop a distorted snippet of your own voice saying,
Limited edition ghost merch.
and that's when the other Alex, the raspy-voiced one you haven't seen since last since last Thursday's live stream, steps out from behind the equipment rack, his pupils blown black, humming the podcast jingle under his breath as he reaches for the closet handle.
So, is there now a third Alex?
That seems to be the implication, and not only that, but this third Alex... Oh wait, no, this seems to just make... I think this is an AI glitch. I mean, I guess that's what's implied just on the face of the text. But it says the other Alex, the raspy-voiced one, kind of implying that's what it called the other Alex. So I don't... Yeah. Maybe it thinks we're not Alex, and there's the two Alexes are the two Alexes? I don't know.
It seems like we've confused it by both being named Alex.
Yeah. Okay.
And then insisting that both Alexes be in the story.
Here's what we can do. Restart. We can redo this particular prompt with different instructions, or we can keep going. What do you want to do?
How long have we been on this one? 15 or 20 minutes?
Yeah, something like that.
So I am of the opinion that either this would be a good... We've gotten like a taste of this vibe. This would be a good point to say like, all right, let's go and see if we can try something new, or we just keep going with this for the rest of the episode, the next 15 minutes or whatever.
Okay, my recording isn't time-stamped well enough to tell. Can you repeat that? I was trying to figure out how long we've been on this.
The two options in my mind are we've gone for about as long as we could go again for the rest of the episode if we start over, or we just commit to this and keep going.
I think we should start over.
All right.
Can we? And I think we should try and get a little bit of a less horror vibe.
Sure.
If we can.
Before you hit start over, I just want to make sure that we acknowledge that this third option is you weaponize the chaos, sprint to the soundboard, crank reverb to the max, and scream the podcast's cancel catchphrase, "Eat cryptid dick," directly into the mic, hoping to overload whatever the fuck is mimicking your show's audio cues. All right, that's all. Let's start over.
Thank you for doing that.
Yes.
Okay.
Is it too... I mean, Eat Cryptid Dick is a fine YouTube title, right?
What do you mean by it's a fine YouTube title?
As the name of this episode. Are we going to get demonetized? I got to get those ad dollars.
Well, considering our podcast is extremely successful.
Yes.
Let's discuss that after.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
Okay.
We need like a cheerful prompt, right?
Yeah. So maybe we'll say we'll start by just saying a humorous story. Humorous, if I could spell. Apparently not. Humorous story about what?
About two friends, Alex and Alex, and their...
No, we're not naming ourselves Alex and Alex in this one.
All right, Joel and Greg.
Joel and Greg.
Who go from... starting... Should this be a sports story? Or would you be okay with this being a sports story?
Sure.
from-
I mean, what are you thinking?
From gymnastics novices to Olympic competitors.
All right, that's a good prompt. Olympic competitors. Apparently, I still can't spell Olympic. No, this is right.
That's
That was
right.
just not capitalized. Okay, let's see what we get.
If this turns horror movie, I feel like we're going to need a different AI.
You, the player, are Joel, currently dangling upside down from the uneven bars by one knee, while Greg films your slow motion descent towards the crash mat.
Dude, you're basically Simone Biles if she'd been raised exclusively on Hot Pockets and bad decisions.
Greg narrates, zooming in as your grip fails. The gymnasium echoes with the wet thud of your face
Ooh.
meeting vinyl, followed by the automated voice of Coach Rodriguez's whistle app blaring
Illegal dismount.
from his phone. Greg high fives you anyway. That is, after all, this is, after all, the sacred birthplace of your terrible, no good, absolutely going to the Olympics plan. So, option 1. You choose to accidentally kick Greg's phone out of his hand mid-filming, then challenge him to a spontaneous floor routine set to the whistle app's error alarms. Or, you dramatically declare this the official start of Project Hot Pocket Bites, and attempt to bribe Coach Rodriguez with a microwaved snack in exchange for secret elite training. Or, you steal the whistle app phone, program it to scream
Legendary dismount.
instead, and spend the next hour intentionally face planning while Greg gives you increasingly absurd commentary like 10 out of 10 for emotional impact.
Wow. All right, the last option feels like something we would write into a sports movie.
I feel like the second option is actually the best. Being like, all right, Coach Rodriguez, we'll give you a hot pocket if you give us secret elite training. That is really funny to me.
All right.
The third option I feel like is a little bit more like slapsticky humor, and maybe that's a statement about our sense of humor. It's just a little bit sillier, I guess.
Yeah.
Or not sillier. It's a little bit just you remember on YouTube when when we were in middle school and it was just random stuff like ASDF videos. That's
Yeah.
the vibe that the third one gives me.
Yeah. It also does. Thinking back to the last one, it also doesn't give me the impression that it's going to progress the story much.
Right.
So all right, let's
so
go.
we go with the second.
Option 2, Project Hot Pocket Bites. All right, it didn't expect this. It's having to think for a while.
Coach Rodriguez stares at the steaming hot pocket you've shoved into his hands, cheese oozing ominously from a puncture wound,
What?
and sighs with the weary resignation of a man who's seen too many bad ideas, but never one this deliciously stupid.
Fine.
He mutters, taking a bite mid-glare.
But if you die, I'm keeping the snack money and telling your parents you joined a cult.
Before tossing you a roll of duct tape with such precision that it nails you square in the forehead. Alright, here's our 3 possible options. 1. You could choose to interpret Coach Rodriguez's duct tape as a sacred training tool, immediately fashioning makeshift parallel bars by duct taping 2 brooms to the gym's bleachers, while Greg dramatically narrates your engineering genius like a home shopping network host. Or, you challenge Greg to a hot pocket balance beam duel, microwaving 2 snacks and attempting routines while balancing them on your foreheads. Winner gets the other's stolen gym locker candy stash. Or, you accidentally drop your remaining Hot Pockets near the gym's resident elite gymnasts as a distraction, then steal their chalk bags while they're preoccupied with the molten cheese ambush.
All right. I am compelled by the Hot Pocket balance beam duel. but also the bottom one feels like it's a plot progression. What do you think?
Let me ask you this: what compels you about the duel?
Literally just the phrase "hot pocket balance beam duel."
The bottom one, I get what you're saying. It to me, it also doesn't feel like it's advancing the plot. Like, what are you going to do with a chalk bag? Like, that's not in any way progressing you towards becoming an elite gymnast.
I
Um,
One thing it does, I guess, is pull in the current elite gymnasts and potentially set up some kind of rivalry which could pay off, but that's, I suppose, putting some faith in the AI to get us
we also
there.
could write our own action here, which is kind
Yes,
of after reading the options where I was leaning.
sure. So what are you thinking?
I'm kind of thinking we want it to be related to the duct tape
Yeah,
because that's what just happened in the story.
yes.
Um, but beyond that, I'm not sure. Like, it seems a little weird that to just I want Coach Rodriguez to drive the next action is kind of like we take the duct tape and ask Coach Rodriguez what the first step is in our elite training or something like that.
All right, so here's what it is. Um, we ask Coach Rodriguez what we're supposed to do with this duct tape, and he says, "You gotta tape yourself together to learn to move as one. Otherwise, there's no way your routine can, I don't know, be in sync or whatever. That's not how gymnastics works."
Okay. I don't know if this is how the tool is intended to be used, but I'm going to write the action that we do, which is what ask Coach Rodriguez, and then for the writing instructions, I'm going to say Coach Rodriguez tells us to tape ourselves together.
Perfect. Let's see if
All right,
that
let's see if this will work.
works.
Do this. It's a big curveball because not only did we provide a custom action, we also provided instructions. So it's
I'm
got a lot of thinking to
While
do.
we're waiting on this, does this site say anything about what model it's using behind the scenes? I'm curious if we could just get like a
It
normal.
says this generator uses Perchance's AI text plugin.
Oh, I don't know what perchance is.
It's this website.
Oh, this is perchance.
Yes.
So they made
this
their
web-
own AI to do this.
I guess.
Huh.
It seems like they have this like generic text generation model, I
Yeah.
guess. And then they've specialized it to be
AI text
to
adventure.
AI story, yeah, text
Yeah.
adventure.
Well, you seem to have stumped it by telling it what the answer should be.
It just felt weird to like what action we want to do is Coach Rodriguez tells us to do this. Like that feel weird. Well, felt weird to put in our action.
Yeah. That's true. I'm used to trying to come up with the answers to our stories, but that's not what we're doing here. We're outsourcing all the effort.
Okay, I'm gonna delete this and
Quick
just
regen.
stop and regenerate to see if that makes it easier or faster. Excuse me.
You can
While this is
edit
thinking,
the story log text directly, and you can also save your story log text somewhere like a text file or a Google Doc, and then later you can paste it back in the story log box and load that previous adventure. It's kind of interesting. What were you gonna ask?
I was gonna say while this is thinking, if you had to make up the story from here, what would I mean? Obviously, you already kind of said it, but what is the duct tape for?
Yeah, so in my mind, the duct tape is to tape yourself together. And oh, so here's where you go is one of you is like the what you've learned so far from the competition is like one of you is more physically gifted. I think it was Joel in the story, right, was doing the uneven bars. But Greg is the one that actually like knows about gymnastics. And so the two of you have started this gymnastics team to try and train up from these like two. You've got basically like two elite level skills and two just garbage skills, and you've got to try and balance each other out. And your coach is like, all right, you gotta tape yourselves together and physically combine into one to learn to do that. That's where I would go.
Nice. Well, this is not working, so that's kind of disappointing.
We've broken it.
Forever.
Should
Maybe
we start
if I
over?
undo, and then try this again.
Try it without the.
See if this. Maybe we should just choose one of the pre-existing options.
Yeah, we can give that a try.
All right, this is going to be working with this option we wrote. So, what do you want to do? We can either do the hot. Do you want to try the Hot Pocket Balance Beam Duel, since that's what kind of drew you in initially?
Let's give it a shot. Let's see where we go.
Do this. Or maybe this is just no longer working, which would be sad.
Do you think we've been rate limited?
I guess it's possible. I mean, we haven't been doing that much. It's not like, oh, we've used it so much and now it's rate limit. There's no like, as far as I can see, no thing on here that's like, oh, make sure you sign up for our premium tier to get unlimited access.
Yeah. Well,
all right. Well, we are at an hour, so I guess we could just stop.
This is the underwhelming end of the episode, potentially.
Maybe if I just refresh, that will solve the problem.
Surely. Refreshing is basically just turning it off and on again.
Refresh solves like 95% of browser problems.
Yeah.
Apparently not this one, though.
I guess not.
All right, do you want to just end it here? Do you want to make up a little bit more of the story ourselves?
Let's tell you what. Let's since this was a brand new thing for us, let's spend the last couple of minutes just reflecting on this as a concept to see if we would want to do this or do something like this. Because I think this was a good idea. I liked it a lot when we were talking about what we should do.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like it let me down a little bit. It wasn't as good as I was hoping it was going to be.
Sure. So, I kind of agree with you. Now, why do you feel like it let you down?
I think... the obvious answer here is that we've just broken the website. But
no. Even before that, though, I kind of feel like you were saying that even absent that, like it felt like it let you down a bit.
No, you're right. And the reason for that, I think, is that we weren't rapidly progressing a story. It felt like it was a very stagnant, like when I imagine a choose your own adventure, each decision you make like dramatically affects what's going on. Mm-hmm. And in the first story, at least, there wasn't a lot of like change happening. We were just like in a studio and creepy stuff was happening, and it didn't feel like the decisions we made played into that a whole lot.
Right.
In this one, obviously, we didn't get very far to judge whether that was going to be the case again, but...
So it's interesting to me that you say that, because, like, definitely I see where you're coming from.
Yeah.
I feel like what I, like, aim to get in this setting of doing a podcast where we do a story is not necessarily anything like a compelling story. It's just, like, I want funny stuff to happen.
Mm.
So, like, in that sense, I actually do feel like we got a lot of funny text that was generated. Like, that was a funny option to read. Or a funny thing that the AI said. So I don't feel like it was like a total failure. I agree that, at least in the first story, it really seemed like our actions didn't have much of an effect on the story.
Yeah.
Like, creepy stuff was just going to happen no matter what we did. So
it's interesting that it chose creepy as the vibe, like right away and really hard. You know what I mean? Like, There was no steering toward like.
I guess. If I told you the prompt was something unexpected happens during our podcast, what would you think? Like, what would you think of?
Yeah, I mean, supernatural is a pretty natural direction to go there. That makes sense. I don't think I'm necessarily critiquing that decision. I could see us like maybe this is more context than we gave it, but as a small podcast, I could see us like suddenly waking up one day and our most recent episode has 150 million listens, and there's a bunch of emails in our inbox from like famous podcast studios offering us a big chance and, you know, some kind of like interesting podcast related story, I guess.
Right.
Instead of, I feel like if that's what if we were the ones making up the story, we'd be more likely to think that way. Like, what is interesting about this being a podcast versus what generic horror movie trope do we want to happen here?
Right.
But
well,
maybe
so
that's
in that
too...
case, well, I think the issue is just that we said in the prompt we said something happens during an episode of our podcast, like while we're something. So
sure,
like there's a limited amount that can actually happen in that. Whereas,
right.
If
So
I think if we started with the prompt like we wake up and our podcast is unexpectedly much more popular.
Sure.
I mean, who knows what would happen?
Sure. Now I'm just thinking of interesting things that could happen during a podcast is one of us accidentally admits to a murder or something. Like we're talking about,
yeah,
you know,
that's kind of what I thought when we wrote it. Like,
yeah,
the other podcaster says something unexpected.
Just like really like, oh, and you know, back in 2007 when I was, you know, just a kid, I stole a car from my neighbor and then accidentally ran him over with it.
Yeah. Okay, so our conclusion is we thought this story generator wasn't great. We did identify some better prompts we could have used.
Yeah.
Is our conclusion that we might want to try this again? Or we might want to try this again with a different AI? Or we don't really want to try this again?
I think my conclusion is I just like my own ideas. Like coming up with the story, I think is more fun than being told the story by the AI.
Let me suggest something.
Sure.
Let's, on a future episode, doesn't have to be next episode, but it could be, just take like 10 minutes before we do whatever we're actually going to do in that episode, and just like try one of these somewhat more interesting prompts that we came up with, or something that we come up with in that moment.
Sure.
And just see if it continues to kind of be more of the same, or if actually something interesting does come of it.
Yeah, that sounds good.
I don't think I'm totally ready to give up on it, but I just don't feel like I want to stake another entire episode on it when it didn't work that well the first time.
Sure. Yeah, I could see this being great. Or
we could even do that offline, like not on an episode, and see if there's like some technique we need to use to make it more interesting.
Would it be? I don't want to commit us to this or anything, but would it be compelling if one of us creates a choose your own adventure? That seems like a lot of work. Maybe that's too much work.
That seems almost impossible. Yeah.
All right. AI it is. Let's see if we can do better. I do like your idea of just like let's commit 10 minutes to it one day and see what happens. All
right. Well, listeners, you've heard our retrospective. Let us know what you thought, what we could have done better. Was it just the AI was bad? Is it just a bad idea?
Should we end every episode with a distinct analysis of what we just discussed?
Well, the problem is oftentimes we're ending the episode at 1:24, and it's like, okay, we just need to end the episode. We're not going to spend more time talking about what we did.
I don't know. I think it'd be really fun to spend 5 minutes at the end of each episode going man, we did a really good job that episode. I
actually don't disagree with you in general. So maybe we'll in future episodes we'll see if there's an opportunity for that.
We can do it
because I do really It is really true that sometimes we end our episodes and it's 30 minutes past when I'm trying to go to sleep, and it's like I just want this episode to be over. Like I don't want to spend 5 minutes. But I in general, I do agree with you. So, well, let's look for those opportunities, I guess is what I would say.
All right. That works for me.
Okay.
This worked out. This was fine. This was a good episode.
This is fun. I think it was a fine episode. Not our best, not our worst. Yeah, let us know what you thought, listeners. So that's it. Going to be it for episode 137. Thanks for listening, everybody. I'm Alex.
I'm Alex.
And this has been
Joel.